So the concept of a family office approach actually takes its roots all the way back to the 6th century, where royal families, kings, queens, people with a lot of wealth would have a team or a person or a group of people who were really responsible for managing all of the affairs of that royal family. In 1838, after the success that J.P. Morgan had, he created what was called House of Morgan, which was essentially his family office, thus managing all the wealth and affairs that J.P. Morgan had accumulated. And then a little bit more recently, around the 1860s, the Rockefellers opened their family office, which had the specific goal of managing their affairs, their wealth, their legal, their tax situation. And that's really where the family office was derived from. A group of persons or a team specific for that wealthy individual or family to have full access to very high level professionals, best in class, asset management, tax strategies, of course, making sure all their tax obligations are met, and then all of their legal work. So estate planning, there's some very high level trusts that a lot of wealthy families need to implement, creating legacy, passing down assets. So in this video, I want to kind of take it to the next step to where we are today, where something called a multifamily office has become very popular. Of course, with the rise in the technology markets ever since the early 2000s, here we are in 2024 with the equity markets at all-time high valuations. A lot of wealth has been accumulated by a lot of families. So the multifamily office has become very popular. And all that means is a team of very specialized individuals. The core three would be tax planning. So in that category, you have tax attorneys and CPAs. And then you have estate planning. So here we have a team of lawyers, estate planning attorneys that have a lot of experience in advising and implementing estate planning techniques for wealthy families. And then, of course, investment advisory or portfolio management, where you're using high-level strategies outside of just your typical, stocks and fixed income portfolios for these very wealthy families. And in a multifamily office, maybe you only have 20 or 30 or 50 ultra high net worth families that you can really focus your attention to, provide the highest level of care and service and knowledge to that family, and have an in-depth knowledge of their situation to best be able to advise them. My name is Andrew Constantinidis. I'm a senior investment advisor and RSU strategist at Neil Jesani Wealth Management, and our team runs a multifamily office consisting of CPAs, tax attorneys, estate planning attorneys, CFAs, and CFPs, and managing the assets and affairs of high net worth and ultra high net worth families around the United States. Now, let's get back into the concept of a multifamily office and what would be the benefit for a family to seek out and use a multifamily office. When you've accumulated a lot of assets, you're going to need a variety of high-level services to manage those affairs. And typically these services are going to be kind of a la carte in different areas. So that may mean that family needs to go out and hire an estate planning attorney, maybe at a local law firm, and then separately go out and find, the best tax team that they can find to help, reduce that taxable income each year. And then also go out and seek an investment advisor who's going to run a tax efficient portfolio, create the right asset allocation, manage risk and goals, make sure that the assets get passed on to future generations in the most efficient and appropriate way. So you really have kind of three different areas all working alone and not really connecting with each other and communicating about that family. Where as a multifamily office, we essentially all share the same clients. So that could mean meetings every week around that specific client situation, updating on the affairs of that family. The tax team is communicating with the legal team, is communicating with the investment advisory team. So going back to what makes it appealing for these high net worth families is it really provides a streamlined one-stop shop, one phone call, one contact person or team that can act as their go-to for anything that may come up around their financial affairs. So the family is really gaining access to a team of top tier professionals and experts in each category or space that's going to create tailored solutions specifically for them. And it's also going to manage the overall risk of that family, both on the tax and the investment side. And it's also typically going to be more cost effective for that family to access all of these resources through one team in one space. One of the biggest misconceptions that's out there when you hear about family office is that it's just investment strategy, which it most certainly is not. Now, going to the investment world and building portfolios through multifamily offices is certainly going to be much higher level investment strategy, not your typical just, stock and bond portfolios, but a multi-asset class approach that may have the potential for better returns over time. But it's certainly not only that. Think of it as more of a financial concierge. So anything that you may need in the financial world in that space, it's really everything under one umbrella, and by no means limited to just wealth management or investment advisory or portfolio management. The other two misconceptions, one is that it's only for the ultra rich. And these days with these multifamily offices, I wouldn't say it's only for the ultra rich, but it certainly is for the higher net worth families out there. Again, that 10 million or more of investable assets. And the third misconception is probably that it's overly expensive, or you need to have $100 million to be able to access a family office. I wouldn't say that's the case. Again, I think it's probably more cost effective than outsourcing all of these various solutions that you're probably going to need if you've accumulated over 10 million in assets. Much more cost effective to do it through a family office than going out and piecing it out across professionals. So in closing, utilizing a multifamily office is certainly not for everyone. However, with the wealth that's been created over the last 10 or 15 years in the equity markets and the rise of multifamily offices, if you've accumulated more than $10 million of investable assets, it may be more efficient, cost effective. You may be able to reduce taxes, create a better investment portfolio, and also create a more efficient transfer of assets to future generations through a multifamily office. So if it's an approach that you would like to consider or discuss a little bit more, please feel free to reach out to our team at Neil Jesani Wealth Management and Neil Jesani Tax Advisors and assess your overall situation, discuss your goals, and see if we may be a good fit for you.